Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Guess what? We actually have some very big news to share today with Ripple. And let's go ahead and just get straight to it. And then I'll go over some other news. We'll take a look at the price movement at the end of the video. So this post from Ripple, Geobuck Bank is the first regional bank in Korea to deploy Ripple payments. I really want to stress that to you guys again. A bank in Korea is deploying Ripple payments, replacing multi-day SWIFT transfers with near real-time 24/7 cross-border settlement for its business customers. Again, I want to stress that part, replacing SWIFT transfers, multi-day SWIFT transfers. Our third Korean partnership this year, after Kyobo Life Insurance and K-Bank partnering on custody, wallet infrastructure, and payments, Korea's leading financial institutions are building with Ripple. As you guys can see, this is getting a massive amount of attention. Now, what are other people having to say about this? I think it's important to hear from some of the biggest voices in the community. So we have Vincent Van Code, who said, first regional bank in Korea using Ripple XRP payments. Real traffic, real time, not hype or shill. This is the framework. It's being roped out. As it ramps up, you will see XRP utility skyrocket and the need for liquidity in the corridors expand exponentially, hopefully pulling price up with it. And he goes on to say a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and read some more. For the people being abusive because they think Vincent lied and said bank is using XRP, it is not what I said. Ripple payments can use DRP, RLUSD, and in fact SWIFT, or even FIS to fiat. So the announcement doesn't exist on Licity say it uses XRP because it's not relevant. When you register with an online app, do you ask them or know what cloud provider they use? Do you care if their servers cost more or less? AWS or Azure? Same situation here. Banks don't care. Ripple handles the entire blockchain and XRP interaction. The bank just uses an API to initiate payment. It's not confirmed, but it is likely they either will in the future if they don't now. The APIs are integrated, systems ready to go. Banks don't want to hold XRP. They don't want to account for capital gains, losses, liquidity challenges. They expect Ripple payments and the ecosystem of liquidity providers to plug and play. I'm sorry, if you can't see what is happening, it's best you don't get involved. Now, more feedback from Rippleziety. A Korean bank just replaced SWIFT transfers with Ripple payments. Watch what that actually removes. A traditional cross-border payment does not travel, it hops. So you're going from your bank to an intermediary 1, intermediary 2, then to intermediary 3, and then to the destination. Every hop is a bank with its own cutoff times, time zones, and compliance queue. Every hop takes a fee. Every hop adds a day. You can't even see where the money is. Ripple Payments deletes the chain. Geobuck Bank, the first regional bank in Korea to deploy it, now settles cross-border remittances in seconds to minutes 24/7. And who feels it? The real economy. Import-export firms waiting days to restock, IT startups paying overseas contractors, content creators collecting global revenue. The correspondent chain was not a system. It was a workaround that lasted 50 years. The replacement is live. And a little bit more on this, Ripple just signed its third Korean institution this year. Look at what each one bought. Geobuck Bank, now the first regional bank in Korea on Ripple payments, cross-border remittances. K-Bank, Korea's first internet-only bank, institutional wallet infrastructure through Ripple custody. Kyobo Life, Korea's largest life insurer, exploring on-chain government bond settlement. 3 institutions, 3 completely different products, regional banking, digital banking, insurance. That's the part people are missing. This is not one payments deal repeated 3 times. It's payments, custody, and settlement sold into 3 separate segments of one national financial system in a single year. And Geobuck matters most. Regional banks serve the real economy, import-export firms, IT startups, content creators. Those businesses waited days for money to clear through the SWIFT correspondent chain. Now it clears in seconds, 24/7. Korea's retail traders already made XRP one of the most traded assets on their exchanges. Now Korea's institutions are running on Ripple's rails. Even more feedback, this time from Vet. That's why you don't give a freak about SWIFT. Banks and institutions will leapfrog and bypass legacy systems like SWIFT, just like Geobuck Bank in Korea. A subsidiary of JB Financial is also actively testing a Korean Won or KWN stablecoin. Ripple Payments is also coming on chain to the XRP Ledger DEX with permission DEX and domain for compliance. By setting up trading venues like with EuroP and RLUSD, they made a video on this. This is from VetXO on Twitter. Or with Bitso, who's issuing Mexican peso. In this case, a KWN stablecoin issued on the XRPL seems very logical in the future and to support Ripple payments. And from Smoke, yes, RippleNet depends on XRP. And XRP is by far the most used currency on the ledger. Translation, there's no competition for XRP on the XRPL. Ripple's technological solutions, including Ripple Payments, are built around XRP. Now, more news. Ripple Treasury and Traton Group, a Volkswagen Group company and one of the world's leading commercial vehicle manufacturers, is replacing 20 separate Excel forecasting templates with Ripple Treasury. Ripple is moving deeper into the financial infrastructure of global enterprises. And just in, gold just passed U.S. Treasuries as the world's largest reserve asset. Central banks made that choice for one reason: gold has no counterparty. Nobody can freeze it, sanction it, or default on it. It just sits there being gold. But physical gold has a hidden problem. To actually use it, you have to hand it to someone. A vault, a custodian, an ETF issuer. And the moment you do, the counterparty risk you were avoiding comes right back. Tokenized gold, or XAUA, on the XRP ledger closes that gap. It settles in 3 to 5 seconds for fractions of a cent, 24/7, while the LBMA runs London hours and physical delivery takes days. It trades against XRP on a DEX built into the protocol, so there's no exchange to trust with your metal. Central banks bought gold to escape counterparty risk. Tokenization is how you finally hold it without reintroducing one. Your custody, your keys, same gold. Every bank launches a stablecoin is essentially creating another currency that needs to talk to every other currency. That's not competition for XRP. That's the problem XRP was built to solve. More stablecoins means more fragmentation, and more fragmentation means more demand for something sitting in the middle connecting them. That something is XRP. The banks are basically doing Ripple's marketing for them. And in response to this, Vincent Van Code said, nailed it, and expanding further, XRP paired stablecoins results in fragmented liquidity. People don't understand how complex it is to send $50 million to a company, say from United States to Taiwan or China, to pay for manufacturing. It means there must be order books and available liquidity to find a USD Japanese yen pairing or USD and RMB pairing. It usually is done over a period of time with crazy spreads and volatility, and not to mention all of the fees. Now, those are just pointless friction costs and legacy bank charges. These are costs that are recovered from the consumer. In additional news, $420 billion has been wiped out from U.S. stocks at the open as the U.S. bond crisis deepens. Obviously not good news. We're seeing red across the board there. And in addition to that, there's a huge crisis going on with Japan's stock market. You have 18.8 trillion yen, that's about $120 billion, wiped out from Japanese stocks today. And $400 billion wiped out from U.S. stocks at the open as the 30-year yield hits a 19-year high. The U.S. bond market is in meltdown mode. Now, outside of that, let's just go ahead and dive into what's going on in the latest with the price movement for XRP. We are still consolidating, still having low volume, essentially just hanging out right around the $1 range as I'm recording this video. It's barely above $1. We do have a low on the day here, dropping down to a little bit below 99 cents. But as you guys can clearly see, it has come back up. We are still in the red, though, for the day. We have a little bit higher. It was about $1.50 earlier. But not much of a range here, guys. Volume is getting pretty close to passing the volume from the previous day. We still have several more days this week. We still have to see what's going to keep happening with the Japanese yen. We're going to have to keep an eye on what's happening with the stock market, what's going on with the United States and Iran, what's going on in other parts of the world with Russia and Ukraine. There's a lot of factors going in, and the market is absolutely crazy right now. And just looking at the Bollinger Band, it continues to progressively widen, which is pretty wild in my opinion, given the fact that volume is just so low and everything is essentially falling flat. So I would suspect that this is going to start to bottom itself out and just start to constrict in again if we continue to just hover around this $1 range. If we zoom out even more, you can see that it's just been so oversold over the course of the last year that people have to be getting burnt out. A lot of people watching to see what happens at the $1 range. Essentially now the meme is becoming real of XRP becoming a stable coin. Like, let's be real. If it's just sitting around $1, it's essentially a stable coin. And we'll keep an eye on how this is moving, but definitely keep an eye on a little under 98 cents. That's the lower band on the Bollinger Band. See if it can manage to break above $1.04 with that median line. And then I would look at here at $1.10, and of course at $1.13, $1.13 being halfway up on that retracement zone. If it does break down below $1, you're gonna have another major testing zone at 86.5 cents. That's what I got for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe and that like button. I do appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next video. God bless. Peace.